guys? Thanks for tuning into the channel. Today's chat is brought to you by On Story Parkway and Talk to Me, both available on Amazon. I met Ann Haines when I started writing On Story Parkway. She gave me some great stories. She was the final Bonnie Brewer, the young lady who ran around the bases and swept them and hit the third base coach in the butt. She's delightful, and we had a great chat. Ann Haines, were you the last Bonnie Brewer?
I was the last one. I ruined it, Jim.
Yeah. Well, do you think you had something to do with that?
Well, my mother said I was irreplaceable, but that's a mom speaking, right?
Sure. Can you walk us through the entrance or the when you applied to become Bonnie? It was still 1970 what?
It was 1979, and WTMJ would put out a all call to young women within a middle teen age demographic, and you would write in a letter telling about why you want to be Bonnie Brewer, and then they would pick 10 finalists, and you would go to the county stadium and interview with a few WTMJ personalities and some Brewer front office people, and then they would call the winner the next morning over the radio,
That's
and
exciting for
it
a young
was really
woman to get all that. Wow. I've always wondered, it was such a cute little shtick. Was that Milwaukee unique, or do you think some other cities were doing something similar?
I don't know. I didn't see anything similar. I mean, obviously, the Brewer Lederhausen German thing, and I really don't know. A lot of the mascots are like in suits, some kind of animal suit or creature suit. Um, so I think it is fairly unique. It was a lot of fun.
Sure.
It was wholesome fun, and
Yeah.
that's Milwaukee.
We don't have a whole lot of that anymore, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately, right?
I remember we looked forward to it, especially young red-blooded men like watching the Bonnies run around. I'm sorry, it was just part of our heritage. But you came around, you hit him, the third base coach in the butt, right? Is that what happened?
Well, you ran out with the grounds crew and did some flips and cartwheels in the infield, and then you'd round around first, and one of the crew members would be waiting with the broom. He would hand it off to Bonnie, and then we would sweep bases, or if any of the guys were available. You really had to watch because the guys were warming up in infield, so you had to watch for that. But then eventually you made your way to the third base coach, swept his feet, and then pretended like you were just sweeping the ground, but then you'd hit him in the butt with the broom and then give him a cheek, a kiss on the
Oh,
cheek.
nice. Were
Yeah,
most
and then you
people over that? Did they play along?
Oh yeah, some of them were really fun. They
Yeah.
were really fun.
You got to
Nice.
know them. They came to town a few times. You did it for 1 year?
I did it for a year. It was a year-long duty. They would have a contest every year, so you couldn't
Sure.
do it longer than that.
It wasn't like
So
a,
I mean, you get to go to all 81 home games, get tickets for your family.
they really gave
Just
you tickets for your family?
yeah.
Wow.
So I had really nice seats behind, home plate, just a little bit above the families of the Brewers, and you got a parking pass, which was awesome.
Yeah,
Priority parking pass.
sure.
I was used to parking 18 miles away on Blue
Sure.
Mound or and
Yeah,
walking. So,
yeah. I gotta imagine some of the days were just scalding. Do you remember any experiences just the heat just being oppressive
you
on
know,
the
I, I
field?
do pretty well in heat, so I wouldn't have noticed the heat as much as, there were a couple games that went pretty late. That got a little tough because you had to go out again if the crew was going to go. And
Right.
um, so, and I think I got food poisoning at one of those late games where I ate a bratwurst too late. It
Yeah,
was sitting.
that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Did you ever, I mean, did any player get angry when you had to run in front of them or around them? Or were they all pretty cool?
Everybody was pretty nice. I didn't, who was exceptional? Sal Bando was exceptional.
Right.
He'd always look out for me and always be waiting for me. I was used to being around baseball. I grew it up in a very baseball-oriented family, and I was always a back girl for my dad and brother's team. So I had a pretty good sense for being around, that type of the warm up. So. I think it was all right, but yeah, you had to be careful, and the guys were nice.